Welcome to another thought process video. We are playing Chou this time. He is one of the strongest heroes in the game. He is the favorites of higher ranked players, and even in the professional games they highly favor Chou over other heroes in the game. So we'll see in this game why Chou is such a favorite, and I'll explain along the way why he is a strong hero in general.
Not knowing oneself, that's the worst.
So Chou is a very good utility hero with his crowd control abilities as well as his mobility with his second skill. He's also strong with his ultimate because he can isolate enemies and pick them off really quickly. And another thing that makes him a very good hero is that he's actually a very effective split pusher, because his passive deals a lot of damage to enemy turrets. We'll see why that is later in the game when we try and push the enemy turrets. But for now, what we want to focus on is get our level 4. And with our level 4, we're going to be able to gank enemy heroes effectively.
Not knowing oneself, that's the worst.
3 of us are low, so we can't contest this buff. So what we want to do is to recover and then get back into the lane.
Not a way to hurt somebody, but in order.
So what's important when playing Chou is to realize and understand which of the enemy heroes can be easily picked off with his ultimate. And so in this game, we want to focus our attention on Lunox, Gishin, and Kimmy. And since none of them chose to use Purify as their battle spell, whenever we get a kick in, we are going to be able to finish them off. So let's make our way to the bottom lane. Even though we don't have our ultimate yet, we can still be very useful by crowd controlling the enemies. And there we go. So that was a good fight because the enemy wasn't expecting us to get there. And they're pretty low, both of them below 50 HP, so we can finish them off quickly. Now that we have level 4, we want to make sure that the enemy carries are suppressed as much as possible. So like now, if we see Gishin there, we can flicker in and kick him back towards our teammates. And so we get a kill from that. So 2 ways you can use his ultimate. One is to kick the enemies towards your teammates to finish them off. And 2, when you're running away or trying to save your teammates, you can kick the enemy heroes who are closest to kick them back and get them away from your teammates. Now, because his ultimate requires you to be very close to the enemy heroes, you want to pay full attention towards your abilities that allows you to close that gap between you and the enemy heroes. That was unfortunate. Lancelot got caught with the hook. So, as I was saying, what you want to do is to get close to your enemies, right? And the way you can do that is to use your dash, second skill. And so, how you want to do it is use your first skill twice before you kick them, and by the 3rd kick, you're going to be able to crowd control them. And after you crowd control with your first skill, use your dash to get ahead of the enemy hero, and then use your ultimate to kick them back towards your turret or your teammates. That way you are guaranteed a kill, as long as the enemies are squishy, alone, and their teammates are not actively helping them to get out of the team fight. We're pretty even in terms of farm. Our
Boxing is
Deroth
not a way
is
to hurt
farming
somebody,
effectively,
but in order.
but the rest of our team is not doing quite well. We have Flicker, so we can kill Kimmy. That was a bad move. So I'm gonna die, but we can still get Kimmy there. Yeah, the kick wasn't aimed well. So what you want to be careful when using Chou is not to let the game's auto aim to help you direct where you want to go. So you always want to aim your skills when trying to kick the enemy heroes. Because otherwise you're gonna see what happened to me happen to you in your game. And you don't want that to happen.
Not knowing oneself, that's the worst.
So the top two farmers of the enemy teams are Kimmy and Cushion. So what we want to do is to gank them consistently. They're both in the bottom lane. Kimmy just died, so we can probably kill Franco there. Oh, we didn't even need to kick him. Jeroth deals quite a lot of damage. We can get this buff now.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Empty your cup.
Launch
In order to
attack.
fill it again.
An enemy has been slain. You have slain.
Alright,
an
that was a
enemy.
free kill.
Has been slain.
And Kimmy still managed to get that buff.
Everybody has to start.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna avoid Franco's hook. Is he AFK?
Not
Yeah,
knowing
it seems so.
oneself.
You have slain an enemy.
Now we have Flicker back up, so we can try and kill Kimmy.
Speed defines the winner.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright, we don't even need to use our ultimate. That was very effective with Kufra and Lancelot helping us. Instead, we can use our ultimate on Gushin.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Alright, so this turned out really
Everybody has to
great
start
for our team.
somewhere.
An ally has been slain. Mega kill. Wiped out.
Now you see, when I attack the turret with
The man
his
who
passive
Team
active,
destroyed a
he's gonna
turret.
deal quite a lot of damage. So that's why he's one of the most effective heroes to split push the game. And now we have Flicker up, so we can try and kill Linux if she overextends. She fell back, so she's safe for now.
In the world of kung fu, speed defines the winner. Boxing is not a way to hurt somebody, but in order.
At this point of the game, you want to stick with your teammates because the enemies are gonna stick together as well. So when you stick together, you're gonna be able to finish them more quickly
Killing spree.
and transition into a push or clearing the other lanes after that.
That's the worst.
And of course, clearing the enemy's jungle is also a very good strategy to suppress their farm further. So anytime you can, do that.
In the world of kung fu, speed defines the winner.
Now you know that Kaja and Kimmy are both in the top lane, and so we want to try to get this turret and then help our teammates at the top and mid lane.
Has been slain.
Empty your cup in order to fill it again.
Initiate retreat. An enemy has been slain.
The man who can beat me has not been born yet.
The reason why I chose to kick Franco there was because I know that he is way behind in
Knowing
terms
is
of
not
gold,
enough. We must apply.
and so he wouldn't be able to sustain too much damage.
Launch
And also, our Moskov was around,
The man
and
who can
if I
beat me
kick
has
him
not
towards a
been born
wall,
yet.
Request backup.
our Moskov is going to be able to
An ally
kick
has been slain.
stun them against the wall.
Mega kill.
and they'll result in
In the world of kung fu,
an easy kill.
speed defines the winner.
Request backup.
Knowing is not
We are
enough.
now ahead in farm, so we want to just focus on maintaining that advantage by consistently getting them to fight us in
In order
team
to fill
fights.
it again.
But Kufra is alone, but he's still sustained. So he's just too strong, really.
Attack. Unstoppable. Shut down.
Mm.
An enemy
He managed to
has
get
been
his ultimate
slain.
off, so I couldn't move. So that resulted in us getting killed. That's okay. We get a good trade.
Your team destroyed a turret.
This is my equipment, in case anyone is wondering. Before season 13 rolled out, I used to use wizard boots, but now I
Initiate retreat.
changed it back to rapid boots because I want to be very mobile around the map, and so
Enemy has been slain.
we
An
want
ally
to
has
get a
been
lot
slain. An
of the
enemy
move
has
speed
been slain.
that we can get.
Request backup. Launch attack.
Knowing is not enough. We must
So
apply.
now we see that our teammates are focused in the top lane, and the enemies are going to respond to that, right? We see that the bottom lane is open, so
In order to fill
we
it
should
again.
try and split push this, because we're going to be able to finish it quickly. But now it seems that
Not knowing
our
oneself,
teammates are
that's the
falling back,
worst.
and we're now regrouping in the bottom lane. But you see that I'm finishing this turret really
Team
quickly,
destroyed
right?
a turret.
So anytime you get a chance to split push, you want to try and do it with Chou.
The man who can beat me has not been born yet.
You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
That was a good move by Kufra to disable them.
Boxing is not a way.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree. You have slain an enemy. Shut down. Your team destroyed a turret.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah, I just love using Chou to destroy enemy turrets because
Boxing
it's
is
just
not a way to hurt
get
someone,
destroyed
but
so
in order.
fast.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Empty your cup in order to fill it again.
So in the late game, you want to stick together with your teammates, right? In case team fights happen. But otherwise, you want to let your teammates go in groups of 4, and try to get the enemy's attention and sustain them, while we try and split push
In order
instead.
to fill it again.
Killing spree. An ally has been slain.
Knowing is not enough. We must apply.
We don't want to move in because Kaja is just gonna press his ultimate, and we're gonna die to that. So as much as
Boxing
Chou
not
is
a way to
very
hurt somebody,
useful
but
in
in order.
initiating team fights, you don't want to be the first to go into the fights, because otherwise you're gonna get disabled
Killing
and
spree. Shut
you
down.
are not gonna be using your skills. So if we have a tank like Kufra, we want him to get into the
man who
fight
can beat
first,
me has not
and then
been
you can
born yet.
follow up by isolating the enemy backlines, like
Ally
Linux.
has been slain.
now we don't have our
Boxing
teammates with
is
us, so
not a
we
way
want to
hurt
run away.
somebody, but in order.
Initiate retreat. Attack.
With Immortal, we can be more aggressive,
Initiate retreat.
but I don't recommend
The man who
being
can
too
beat me
cocky
has
and
not
being
been born
overly
yet.
aggressive, which means that you're gonna just, charge at the enemy without having your teammates to back you up.
Knowing is
You
not
still
enough.
want to be
must
sticking with your
apply.
teammates because at this point of the game, the enemy can kill you quite rapidly, and if they can pick off our teammates one by one,
Everybody
we're
has
not
to
gonna
start
win this game.
somewhere.
Right, so let's try getting Lord, because Moskov is a very effective hero in doing that. But be prepared for the enemies to come. Just be aware of where they're gonna be coming from.
Ally has slain Lord.
Okay, we can enter the fight now.
Boxing is
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Triple kill. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Alright. That's all you have to do. Just make sure you CC the enemy and let your teammates finish them off. So, Chou is a very strong hero, but you don't want to use him as a killer. You don't want to use him to be your #1 source for kills from the enemy team. You want to use him as a support to your teammates, and you do that by crowd controlling your enemies using your first skill and ultimate, and then letting your teammates finish the enemies off. But if you are far ahead enough in terms of gold and equipment, you can be a very good killer. And what you want to do in that situation is to make sure you isolate enemies and finish them off quickly with your auto attack and your first skill, escape the team fight, and then re-enter when your ultimate is available again. So I hope you learned a thing or two from that video. I'll try to make a more concise and more coherent video on him. But until then, good luck and have fun. Bye.